Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. I'm here working on my recipe journal and here it is so far, and I've done a few videos on it so far which I have linked and listed in my junk journal playlist, which I will have linked below if you'd like to go back and see the first few videos or watch any other videos on making what I've done with junk journals. So yeah, this started off with this pretty binder. We added pages and pockets, and now I'm adding other things, and I showed you a pile of things or a bunch of things that I wanted to put in here. So I've had those things right here in front of me. And I'm just kind of going one by one and saying, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with that? And then I do something with it. And I'm trying just to, kind of think as I go and maybe do something different, trying to do something different, not anything really complicated, but, a little different or just whatever kind of strikes my fancy. So I showed you some stickers, which I have put some stickers right here. And, so I'm doing little things like that with the stickers, just decorating here and there. And this is kind of it's a cool page from the original binder, but it was kind of plain and, no color. So I added a little color there. I showed you this recipe in I think my last video, and it's pretty tattered and on the edge. So I picked that up and I said, well, what can I do with this? And I kind of had one idea in mind, but then I ended up, it just fit on the back of this divider page here so perfectly because it was handwritten by the original owner of this binder on this kind of notebook paper that came with this binder. So of course it fit the size of the dividers and the pages in this journal perfectly. So I went ahead and just glued it down on the back of here kind of as a decoration, and just I thought it was so cool, and I wanted to keep the tattered part, and of course I couldn't do that without gluing it down on something because it was just gonna kind of fall apart if you started touching it or something. So I glued it down there completely, punched through the holes again, and there you go. I think that's really cool. And I added some other things that I had showed you in my last video just as pages. More stickers, and I don't really want to do a flip through. I just want to show you what I did with the things that I showed you so far. So I showed you this little piece here. I thought it was so cute. And it's from a little bunch of, it was a bunch of these that I got in a kind of a little box at a thrift store. And so I glued it down here. And so you can write in here or do whatever you want. It has a little tab here. Here's the original hangers because it was hanging on this box by these kind of like hanging little folders. And I left it open behind it and put a little tabbed divider behind there that is plain on both sides so somebody can write on here, glue something on here, do whatever they want, and it just fits so perfectly in there that I had to do it. And it already had this little tab that you can grab and pull out of there, and it matched the color, so it couldn't be more perfect, right? So what else did I do? Let's see, I flip over a few pages. I did add, I went to all not to all, but a lot of the divider pages and added these little stickers. Here's some on this pocket also. I just added a plain recipe card here in this pocket, and then went on the other side of this is a divider page too. So I said they're kind of plain, so I added stickers there. And on the back of here, this was another little page from a kind of a recipe kind of organizer type thing that I had, a little booklet, and I took a page out of it that had pockets and it was folded in half. I unfolded it, glued it down here. I added these little ribbons in the holes where it was originally in the binder, like a little binder. And so I added a ribbon through the holes on each side. Glued it down so I can put something in these pockets, but behind it I also left that open here. And let me make sure you can see over here. Let me move my paper cutter for a second and make sure you can see over here. So right here behind this pocket that I glued down on this divider page, I have another little page that is from something, just a cool little page from, it was like a restaurant guide that you could take your own notes and make like be your own critic on a restaurant and make your own notes as to whether you wanted to, liked it and whether you want to go back there and things like that. So like a little restaurant journal kind of thing. Added that little bow, and that sits behind there, and that can be written on as journaling space. So let's see, what else did I do? I added this. So this was a double pocket divider. I don't have, let's see, do I have any here? I put them away already, but it was a double pocket, one on top of the other, and they both had recipe cards. That's how I got it from the thrift store. I tried to put it in like that, like it came originally, and when I put it in, I closed it, and it came way out here. It was like, oh, it's way too big. So then I looked at it and said, what can I do? I really want to use this, and I really want to put this in here. So I ended up cutting it in half right in the middle, and I sewed where I cut it in half. It kind of was still together, but I wanted to make sure it never came apart. So I sewed right down there. The recipe card still fit in here. I didn't have to cut down the recipe card or anything, so it still fit in the pocket like that. And the opening is right here. And this was a little tab like that you would have put over here and had holes in it, and you would have put it into the rings, but I left it on there. And then I wanted to do a little flip up. So I just zigzag stitched that on right here. And then, this recipe card has writing space all over it. You have a flip up and you can put something behind it there. And I put it on this like pretty gingham page here. So I just dropped my pattern. Just 1 second. Let me grab that. I dropped it fell off my paper cutter there. So then, let's see, what else have I done? I have put some stickers on here. And not a big deal, just a few stickers here and there. I haven't put anything in the envelopes yet, and I have not filled all the pockets. Here's some more stickers, and let's see, no stickers on this one yet. I didn't want to put stickers on, well, I used up all the stickers for one thing, but I didn't necessarily want to put stickers on every divider page. I wanted to do something different. So in this one here, you see a little apron sticker here, and I had showed you this recipe card, and I wanted to do something different to this, so I put a little cluster of fabric here and sewed on that little button. It's sewed on, it's kind of a little wooden button with a pretty kind of pattern on there, and it's heart-shaped, and I used embroidery thread and just sewed it, and you can see the threads here. I tied a double knot back here, and I just left the threads because I thought it was cute. So that is in that pocket. More stickers there. Did I do anything? Oh, here's another. I had 2 of those pockets, because I cut that double see-through pocket page in half. So here's the other one. Same thing, little flip up there with the recipe card, and it also fit in there perfectly. It's not even that tight. And I was surprised. I really thought I was going to have to cut those cards down after I sewed. I sewed on this side here on this one and zigzag stitch. And I thought, well, I'm taking room away by sewing on there. For sure I would have to cut the recipe card down, but I did not. It fit in there perfectly and looked so pretty on that page. Here's a recipe card that I showed you. I just added this. It had holes here, and I just added a little piece of scrap fabric there and tied a bow. So that's in that pocket. And oh, here's one more. This was one of the first things I did. I picked up this recipe card, and I didn't just want to stick the recipe cards in pockets. I wanted to do something with them, most of them. Some I do want to stick in pockets, but I wanted to do something different with them too. So this one was a nice big one with a lot of writing space on the back. So I decided I took one of my scrap strips from this paper that I'm using and just made a little hinge here. So I took it and I glued it on here first to keep it in place as I was sewing, and then I took and zigzag stitched it there, and then I did the same thing on this side, glued it down so it would stay in its spot, and then zigzag stitch right there. So you can see the stitching kind of right here. I'm using white thread this time while I'm working on it so far on this journal. So I think it's turning out really nice. You get that sewn look, but it's not like really bold. So I really like it. Kind of almost made like a it made a nice stitched pattern here, almost like a cross stitch pattern, but it's that number 5 stitch on my brother that I'm loving right now, and the pages are already getting a little fluffy just with that little bit of stuff that I added there. They're already getting quite fluffy, like I told you from the very beginning. This, you can't put as much as you might think in these journals or else these books, or it's going to be like way out here before somebody even gets it to put their stuff in there, right? So the next thing I picked up was this pattern that I said I wanted to use. So I kind of decided I wanted to, before or previously when I've used these sewing patterns, I've always used the whole envelope, the front and the back. I thought, well, maybe this time it'll be okay if I just use the front. So I thought, and I could use the back in another way in this journal still, so I'm going to keep it here with me with my project stuff. But I'm going to cut the sides and the bottom off here because it's pretty tattered up here. But I said from the very beginning I needed to, I would need to fix this up if I'm going to use it and strengthen it and all that. So I thought, well, why not try that? I've never really just used the front before, so let's see if we can do that. So this is, like I said, quite tattered up here at the top where the flap was. There's no flap there anymore, but I really want to use this pattern because, this is a recipe cookbook kind of journal, and this is aprons, really cute aprons in a very old pattern. Doesn't have a price up here, but it's simplicity. Oh, here's a price, I guess 40 cents. Okay, so that's the back. I'm going to put that over there, and so this is still quite tattered here. I pulled out some of the paper that was inside and thought I might just use that for a layer and see if that's enough to strengthen it. And so I looked at this, the instructions here, and it has this cute piece right here with the same picture like from the front of the pattern. So I don't want to do anything with that. I want to keep that so I can use that maybe in some way in this journal even, and then or send it along with it. So I looked here, and I want to save that, and then I looked at the back too, and it has some aprons over here, aprons more on this side. So I thought, well, I'll go back over to this side and see. Here is the piece I want to save, so I can go up here at the top. I found a piece I could use is my is what I'm getting at. Found a piece I could use up here without cutting off anything I want to save. So I think I will go ahead and put some art glitter glue on here and glue this down. And so I want to see what it looks like and feels like after I get this all glued down. You can see here at the top, there's not a lot of room above her head, but I think I can maybe cut a little bit off. I can even keep this number, but still cut a little bit of this tattered part off. Let's try that because it's quite tattered up there, and I really like to, let me see if I can get it in my paper cutter here so I can get a nice straight line. So about right there. Yeah, I think that would be, there we go. That's a pretty straight line there without having all this tattered stuff up there to deal with. Okay. So I'm going to go back over here. Make sure, yes, that's where I said I could glue right there. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm just using some art glitter glue. I'm going to glue it all down here and just see how strong it is. So, and if I needed 2 layers, I could actually put another layer on here or something else. This layer is totally not to be decorative on the back, just to get another layer here and use something that I can use, just use something. Use this paper for something, this instruction paper. Okay, so there's a little torn piece here. I'm going to put it over from that, actually. And in case I did want to use it and leave it, let's see, you know what? I think I'm going to turn it over and use this right here. Because if I did want to use it this is sideways and this is right side up. So the tear is right there. Okay, so let's get this down here. And then we'll have some nice text all over. So before I completely glue it down, let's make sure where my pictures are that I was saving. Oh, it's over here. Okay, we're good, we're good. Completely out of the way of what I wanted to save. Okay, then I'm going to cut it out after I get it glued down nice. Okay, so there's a little bit of, yeah, this is a little bit brittle up here. So yeah, this really had to be, you know, strengthened in order to use it for anything. Sometimes I have just punched holes in the side and use these as pockets. This little piece needs to be cut off here. Let me get my scissors. They're underneath my journal. Hold on. Okay, I just want to get this little extra piece of paper off here. Getting in my way. Because I want to see where I can glue, where I need to glue. Right there. Okay. So, let me run a little bit of glue under there. Okay. Alright, now, let's see. Nice and smooth. Okay, I think I can cut now. Alright, so I think I'm still going to use my paper cutter so I can get nice straight lines. Let me cut it out first. So I'm just going to cut it out like this. Bigger than it is, and then I'll use my paper cutter to get nice straight lines. So I'm just cutting it off of here, basically. Okay, put that out of the way. See, it was just too much paper there. Okay, so I think I might need a little bit of glue. No, I guess it's good. Okay, let's cut that now. I'm cutting right next to where I originally cut the pattern, so I don't cut any more of the pattern off. Right there. All right. It's feeling better already. I mean, it's twice as thick, right? At least twice as thick as it was. Okay, and now a nice straight line on the bottom without cutting off her shoes or anything. Okay. And then this side. I did want to keep the simplicity if I could. I'm willing to sacrifice it if I need to, but I would like to keep it if I can. And then the top. Okay. That is nice. Look at that natural distressing on there. Very naturally distressed already. Okay, so it feels good. Here's what it looks like on the back. Got a couple of wrinkles there, but that was probably already in the paper from being folded, but it's fine. So yeah, I like that. So let's look at our journal and see where it might fit, what we might want to do with it. I'm thinking I'd like to glue it on the back of one of these pages like this, like I glued that recipe there. So let's see. I have a pocket on that one. I'm going to the divider pages. I have this pocket on this one. Next one, I don't have anything. Okay. So I can put it here. Let's see how it would fit. And what I might want to do with it as far as just gluing it down or what. So it does fit. I could use it as a pocket, and I think it's strong enough. So I'm just like in a recipe journal, or I mean, this can be a journal, a regular journal. I'm calling it a recipe journal, but it can be a regular journal with a recipe cookbook theme. You know what I mean? I'm looking for my corner rounder. Here it is. I'm going to round these corners here. See how that goes. It should look nice. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer with rounded corners. Like this. Okay, yeah, nice. Much nicer with rounded corners. Okay, that looks good. And before I glue it down, do I want to do anything else to it? Do I want to make it stronger even? Let me see if I glue down here, 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 and then this is used as a pocket. Let me see what it feels like. It feels really strong, actually. I don't think it really needs, okay, I probably would leave it, let's see, it would be like this. You turn it over, and yeah, this would definitely be the side that you would be reaching in. If you wanted to, like somebody could get this and not necessarily use that space, but it is there in case somebody wanted to use it. So, you know what I might do? I might sew around this instead of gluing it. That would give it even more strength than just gluing it because of the thin paper, you know, just gluing it. I mean, I think it's strong enough, but I would feel even better if I sewed it. So, hey, that's a good idea. I'll have to punch the holes again. But anything else before I think it has plenty of decoration. I don't think I need to add trim or anything. So if I wanted to add trim, I could put this to the top, and then there's some space down here, or I could put it in the middle or to the bottom. I think it looks better at the top. Okay. So I think I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to put it at the top and sew around, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let me show you. It came out super cute. Again, I'm using white thread, so you might not be able to see it, you know, that well, but it is that my favorite number 5 stitch on my sewing machine. Zigzag stitch. It's all the way around here, here, here. And I feel like it's, you know, very securely fastened and stronger, a lot stronger than it was. And then while I was paused, I said, well, I need something here. So I have that scrapbook paper that I showed you and these little pieces, these little cutouts. And this one just called out to me, the kitchen is seasoned with love, and it fits perfectly right here. And it doesn't cover up her cute little sandals and her painted toenails. So I thought I would put that right there. And I'm going to fasten it down with some Fabri-Tac real quick. And I think that will be all I have time for today. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got some ideas if you're interested in making a cookbook journal or recipe type journal. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking, and commenting, I really appreciate that. All of those things help my channel to grow. And, you know, it's nice when your channel grows. So, there we go. I think that's super cute. Let me see how I want that. It's straight with the bottom here, but it's a little, let me see. Oh, that looks fine. Yes, I like it straight on the bottom. Okay, so that's what it looks like completed. And now I just need to punch, see there's holes right here where the original holes were, where I just took it out. So we are going to, you know, when you do something like that, just make sure everything's upright and in the right, you know, direction. You know, I would hate to, you know, do that and then like, oh, it's upside down type of thing. So that's how we had it, like this. So I've got the 2 little stickers here, which makes this page so much cuter. And I still could put something else here if I wanted, or the new owner can put more here. You know, I don't like to do too much. I like to leave it so the new owner can just go through here and have some fun, you know. So here it is, super cute, and it is a pocket, nice big pocket, sewn on, and there's our little decoration on the bottom right here. So that was fun, right? So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Happy crafting!